So these are my quarter-final predictions for the PDC World Dart Championship, and then there were 8. Then there were 8 players from 96. And it all starts off on New Year's Day with the afternoon session and the evening session. It all starts off with Chris Dobey and then Sterling Price. And for me, I think that's going to be a last set decider, Chris Dobey and Sterling Price. Sterling Price for me. If Sterling Price for me, the only weakness Sterling Price's got was fumbling on the doubles. Getting Johnny Curtin batting it, getting Joe Curran batting it in the previous games. Chris Dobey, and then Chris Dobey's weakness is the doubles as well, where he could have easily had a comfortable victory over Kevin Durrett if he didn't fumble a lot on the doubles. And both got the scoring. I think they're both on the equal playing level, Dobey and Price. So I think they'll be equal on the scoring. I think it's under to the last set decider. 50-50 for me. It is 50-50, but I've done for Sterling Price to win 5-4 against Chris Dobey. Chris Dobey might suffer a bit of PTSD again in terms of the quarterfinals. He has reached the quarterfinal before, but he's not top past the quarterfinals, and we know what happened last year against Rob Watts. So he may suffer a bit of PTSD, Chris Dobey, but again, it could go either way, that one. I think that could go either way. That's one of the games that is tough to call, in my opinion. Up next, Mike Van Duijvenbode against Taryn Rydz. Bit strange to see Van Duijvenbode in like an afternoon session, isn't it? But he's up against Taryn Rydz. Taryn Rydz has been one of the players at the tournament with the performances he's been putting in. Turned it around against Robert Owen when he was 2-0 down as well. He's been consistent throughout the whole tournament, Taryn Rydz. Van Duijvenbode, but Van Duijvenbode looks hungry, doesn't he? He does look hungry. Van Duijvenbode does look hungry as well. Jeffrey Craft made him work for it. Van Duijvenbode winning 4-2 against Jeffrey Craft. Brendan Doran made him work for it as well. And Van Duijvenbode stopped through them two tests as well. Playing well. I was in over 100 as well. And Van Duijvenbode for me, he looks hungry. He does look hungry. And he's probably got more of the favourable route in terms of the final. He could play Price or Dobey in the semis. Taryn Rydz will cause Van Duijvenbode issues, because Rydz has been consistent throughout the whole tournament, but I don't think Van Duijvenbode to win 5-3 against Taryn Rydz. I think Van Duijvenbode's going to take this opportunity now and reach another world final. He'll want to take that opportunity. Peter Wright against Stephen Bunting. Again, a bit like Dobey and Price. I think that's another tough one to call. Bunting's got through so far with these, hasn't he, in his games. He's played decent, Bunting. Peter Wright, there's still questions about Peter Wright. Can he be more? Can he keep that consistency up like he did against Duke Humphreys, which was the best Peter Wright has played since he won his second world title, in my opinion. But can Peter Wright for me, can he do that in this game, be more consistent? I think Peter Wright does win than Stephen Bunting, personally. I think Peter Wright does win. But again, I think Bunting could. Bunting's made favourite, isn't he? He is favourite against Peter Wright. I understand that on the form, but in terms of what they've won, I still think Peter Wright should be favourite on what they've won. And it's one of them again. It is one of them. You wouldn't be shocked if Peter Wright don't turn up now after knocking out Humphreys and he stints it out against Bunting and Bunting ends up winning. But I've done for a 5-3 win for Peter Wright against Bunting. I just feel Peter Wright's beaten two informed players in Wattamina and Hugh Humphreys, beating the defending champ, so Peter Wright's a bit confident now, isn't he? after knocking out the defending champion, and all of a sudden it gives PY a massive boost with the way he played against the champion as well. And he'd be thinking to himself, you know what, I was 66 to 1 to win the tournament at the start. My odds should go down significantly as well. And finally, UK versus Nathan Aspinall. Nathan Aspinall, don't get me wrong, he's a battler, he is a battler. Obviously Aspinall is my favourite player, but I think he hasn't been tested this tournament, in my opinion. He hasn't been tested this tournament, and this is already the first test he's faced in the ultimate test against UK, who is the favourite to win the whole tournament now, especially with Humphries going out. And all the press is done me on UK now to win this tournament. Now Humphries is out. And I just feel Aspinall is not being tested this tournament, and I just feel this is the ultimate test for Aspinall. I don't think Aspinall is still 100% despite he stopped through them games quite comfortably. And I just feel, yeah. And the thing with Rydz survived the stare against Wayne Choice last night. Surviving the last set, obviously winning the last set side against Wayne Choice. And I just feel there's always a saying in darts where once you survive a stare, you do tend to go on to win the whole tournament. I feel that's what's going to happen with Rydz now. We saw it with Humphries last year, with Petresco and Joe Cullen in this tournament, where he survived 2 stares. UK has survived a stare here, and I feel now, once he's survived a stare, it's what champions do. They survive a stare and they just go on to reach the final and potentially go on to win the whole tournament. So I don't think UK to win 5-2 against Nathan Aspinall. I think Aspinall will try his best since but I think will still be far too much for me. Again, it's not 100% Nathan Aspinall, in my opinion. I'm just being honest on Aspinall. I don't think he's been tested yet. Not his fault. It's not his fault. But even though obviously Aspinall doesn't like the criticism that about not being tested yet and all that. But I'm sorry, Nathan, it is true. You haven't been tested yet. And obviously I don't think he's aiming at me. I think he's aiming at the keyboard warriors and social media, apparently been criticising him. But yeah, I think they will beat Aspinall 5-2 in my opinion. So there are my quarterfinal predictions for the PDC World Darts Championship. They probably are the obvious predictions for me. I think that's the favoured predictions that everyone's done for. I think they all want. They are the same finals. They all want Price, Van Duijvenbode and Wright. But I do think Peter Wright and Duijvenbode Price's games are more tougher to call than Van Duijvenbode and his games. But at the end of the day, I have to keep saying it's darts. You wouldn't be shocked if that's knocked out, Van Duijvenbode that's knocked out, and all of a sudden you wouldn't be shocked by a Derby, Rydz, Bunting, Aspinall same final, would you? So, anyways, feel free to leave your thoughts down below and your predictions down below, and I'll see you all for the semi-final predictions.